This is a Skeem review of yesterday's episode and today's episode. So let's start with yesterday's. Um, a lot happened. I'm going to be starting with Lehasa's character. And I said here, Lehasa has finally gotten out of hospital and went back home. So basically, he discharged himself. He didn't want to spend another night, day in that hospital because he has a lot to deal with. You know, his case, Khewzi. You know, he has a lot to deal with, and the only way he felt like he can deal with it is he goes back home and not be in that hospital. I get where he's coming from. I totally understand why he decided to leave and discharge himself from the hospital. Am I wrong to think that it was a bad idea? Maybe not, but I think for him it works because he needs his privacy. He needs to think straight. He needs to make sure that no one's listening, no one is interrupting his business with his uncle. So I think that's the only way he can really get deep down and sort out this mess that he basically caused, I guess. Um, Now let's move into Petersen. I said Petersen is still on Lehasa's tail. He still wants his statement. So obviously Lehasa hasn't given um, Petersen his statement. I have no idea why. I don't know why he decided not to tell Petersen what happened. Like, what's the reason behind that? I still don't get it. But I have my own theories. I think because he wants to contain this situation, he wants to deal with it by himself. So the only way he can do that is not add other people into the situation, such as the cops. Because Peterson is like a dog with a bone. Once he gets that bone, he would never let go. And Lehasa is that bone. Lehasa is that bone. And he's not letting go. He's not letting go. He's going to do everything in his power to figure out how to get Lehasa in prison. You know, it's his job. I don't blame him. You know, obviously Lehasa is guilty of killing Fernie and he needs to go to prison, but we'll see if that works. In terms of Khewzi, I have no idea if it's going to work or he's going to tell Peterson what really happened that night. I feel like he owes Preachy that much. You know, he chose Preachy, so and Preachy's in this mess because of him, in a way. But if he does not come clean, Preachy won't be free from this whole mess. She's gonna be always be caught up in Lehasa's mess. But the only way he can save her is tell the truth. But he's not gonna do that because it will backfire on him in a way. Still on Petersen, I said Petersen is rubbing it in Lehasa's face that he has a smoking gun he can use against him. What kind of smoking gun is that? Because last time I checked, Lehasa was gonna go to prison, but he did not have any proof of wrongdoings. But I think now, apparently, he has a snitch, he has a witness, which I have no idea who that is because it turns out that Khewzi refused to be the snitch, the witness against Lehasa for obvious reasons. She loves him, so She does not want to betray him, I guess. But now that it's out, who is next in line to be the witness? Like, because Peterson is literally shaking this bone in front of Lehasa. He wants to know who the witness is. He keeps like playing coy with Lehasa and Pomolo, like the always on edge because Peterson is refusing to give Lehasa that information for good reason. If he did know about this information, that witness would disappear in a split of a second. So I get why he's not being honest about who the witness is. But I think knowing Lehasa is gonna find out somehow. But he's keeping it tight-lipped. I respect Peterson for that. Like he's finding his way, and he's not kidding. He's literally on Lehasa's tail, like every single minute. And Lehasa is feeling the heat from him in every single way. Now, regarding Fanny's death, as said here, Fanny's case has resumed. It turns out Peterson has now new evidence. He even said Fanny's fighting from the grave. Now, what kind of evidence that does Peterson have? I don't know, but it must be something big for him to be that quiet about it. He's tight-lipped about who the witness is and what kind of evidence he has against Maposa regarding Fanny's case. You know, I'm really curious about that because it looks like he does have a smoking gun that he can use against Lehasa. What it is, I have no idea, but I'm here for it. I'm excited to find out what that is because the way they're playing it out is like something huge. It's like huge in a way that Lehasa might be even be like arrested for it. I don't know because the vibe I'm getting from this is like Peterson has something massive that can work against Lehasa. We'll see if that works. We'll see if that works. Honestly, we'll see if that works. Um, still on Lehasa, I said Lehasa is still he still wants to get rid of Khewzi permanently. Now, I get that he wants to kill Khewzi, he wants to get rid of Khewzi permanently. Now, my question is, how the hell do you do that while your so-called fiance is still pregnant with your child? Like, there's so much obstacles that you need to face, and I don't know what he's gonna do. How is he gonna deal with this? The fact is, she's pregnant. We cannot ignore or deny the fact. So how are you gonna deal with Khewzi in the same breath try to save your child? It, it baffles me, like, because he has all these ideas and thoughts about how he wants to deal with um, Khewzi, but your child, your unborn child, is still in Khewzi's womb. So how the hell are you gonna do that? I still want to know that because honestly, I don't see any other way that Lehasa can deal with um Khewzi without killing his unborn child. I don't see it. I honestly don't see it, but I think he'll find a way, I guess. Um, Now I want to touch on Mantula a bit. I said Mantula is finding it hard to deal with the fact that Pretty chose chose Lehasa over her. Like, I get that she's having a difficult time, but you asked her to choose. You asked her to choose you or Lehasa, and she decided to go with her heart. I get that you're hurt. She's your daughter. You didn't expect that she would choose him over you, but you made her choose. You made her decide which person she wants to be with. She even said, I love you, Mom. I love you, but I want to follow my heart, and I love Lehasa, regardless of what you think this is, or you feel like I'm being possessed or controlled. The thing is, I love him, so I choose him. And for you to find it difficult to deal with, in a way, you brought it on yourself by making your daughter choose between you and Lehasa. In a way, I do blame you. I honestly do blame you to an extent, but not all the blame goes to you. It does go to Pretty a little bit as well. Um, I said she's doing some reflection on how she dealt with this whole situation. Um, at some point, everyone has to reflect on that decisions and how they dealt with the situation they were given. And Mantula is at that point when she's like, okay, did I really need to react the way I did? Or was there another way to approach the situation? And now that she has sat with the situation a little bit more, and she has reflected on it. She's realizing that the way she came across was a bit harsh and unnecessary because she could have dealt it in a way that everyone could understand what's going on. She didn't need to be ruthless and make hard decisions while she's still emotional. Now that she's calm and she's collected her thoughts, she's realizing that, oh wow, okay, I could have done this a way better, way like in a way that it was better than I did. I could have like really calmed down and realized that okay, this situation does not need this kind of reaction. But it's too late. She did it already. But now she has to come to terms with it and reflect and say, okay, next time when this situation happens again, I need to react this way. I need to deal with it this way, not the way I did it before. But it's a bit too late now. Still on Mantula, there was a scene where she says she feels that she has failed as a parent and she has failed her children. I mean, I think a lot of parents do go through that stage where they feel like they've failed their children. You know, they failed as a parent. And Mantula is at that stage because she's now reflecting on how she reacted to the situation that Preeti put her through. And now she feels like she's a bad parent. I don't think she's a bad parent. I think the way she reacted to the situation was not necessary, but it's not that she's a bad parent. She just didn't know how to deal with it. And the only way she knew how is to overreact, get loud, get angry, you know, make decisions while she's angry, she's emotional, and now she feels like she's a bad parent. No, it's just that you dealt with it the wrong way. And next time you shouldn't do that. Finally, um, I said here, what is Lehasa's game plan? Because the wall was like caving in. Now that this whole situation is getting out of control, the walls are caving in to Lehasa's problems, and it looks like it's getting tough for him because now his case is going to be in court, and the person who's going to be presiding on that case is not his dad, who is in charge. I believe his name is Mavumbela, if I'm not wrong. So those two have history. So it's going to be difficult for Lehasa to lie through that case and finesse himself out of it, because that judge knows what kind of person Lehasa is. And on top of that, that judge has history with Khewzi, because Khewzi nearly destroyed that judge's career. So imagine all that put in one situation. It's going to be a messy case, messy trial. There are so many unknowns when it comes to this case, and Lehasa hates that. He hates that he has no control over the fact that the judge that is presiding over this case hates him, and he's gonna probably do everything in his power to make sure that Lehasa goes to prison. So imagine that. It's a lot to process, it's a lot to take in. The fact that the one person that you did not expect to be presiding your case is that person, which is Mavumbela, if I'm not wrong. Um, Now let's go to Preeti a little bit. I said, is Preeti going to move in with Lehasa now that she's officially homeless? Currently, Preeti is homeless, but she's living in Eunice's apartment, and no one knows except Climate and her older sister. For how long she's gonna be there, I have no idea. But I feel like she's finding it difficult. She's honestly stuck in a rock and a hard place because she decided this. She chose a different path that she could have not chose. Now she's in this dilemma. I have no idea how she's going to deal with this. Is she going to move in with Lehasa? Maybe, maybe not. But it looks like Lehasa is still in love with Preeti, and he still wants to move on with Preeti. But the problem is he has to deal with Khewzi first, and he has to deal with his cases first. So he feels like he can't move forward with Preeti until that is done and buried. But how long? How long is that gonna take? Because Preeti cannot wait until everything's done. She's homeless. She chose Preeti. I mean, she chose Lehasa. So it's kind of like, why did I choose all of this if I'm gonna be here, homeless, and clueless on what to do next? It's just sad. Hopefully, she does go to Preeti's, not Preeti, Lehasa's apartment. I don't know how that's gonna work. Um, yeah, I think that's it. But mainly that as well, and also it turns out that Petersen has bugged Khewzi's phone. He has a tap on Khewzi's phone. Now he has everything that he needs. He overheard everything that happened between Khewzi and has his conversation. Oh my God, I do not see that coming. I do not see that coming. This man has dead to rights. When I tell you this case is gonna fall apart for Lehasa, I mean it. Because he has a lot of information. He overheard everything because he tapped Khewzi's phone or Lehasa, I'm not sure. But he heard everything. heard everything. Speaking of Khewzi, obviously she went to Lehasa's apartment with her uncles, and the truth came out that she stabbed him and she's pregnant. It was a whole mess. Now they had to do with that as well. Um, Lehasa has to pay the damages so that the baby can get his last name. Like, there's a lot to process and deal with for Lehasa, and he does not know where to begin. He honestly does not know where to begin. And I don't blame him. He's stuck, like he's literally lost for words. But one thing he's sure of is that he loves Prince. And that will never change. But we'll see how that goes. And now that Khewzi has been kicked out, he he's free in a way. But we'll see how that goes with Khewzi. Lehasa's case, like there's a lot going on. Petersen is like a dog with a bone, and he's going after Lehasa with full force. And I'm here for it. We'll see how that goes as well. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. I hope you enjoyed this review. Like I said, don't forget to click on the notification bell to get notified when I post a new video. And tell me what you liked about these two episodes. I really liked them. I actually liked tonight's episode more. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, peace.